Okay, pilots. I've been working on my fuselage here. And to tell you the truth, man, this thing is just like falling together, pilots. I mean, it's Sunday afternoon, and I've got all these videos you've seen. I'm just taking it easy. I mean, I ain't really hurrying. But these carbon fiber rods, the two on the bottom, are factory. Okay, these two on the sides here that I've put in is I know the pack, there it is. I put it in the camera stand. I ordered these two carbon fiber rods, Horizon Hobby Zone. Anybody that carries that 64 millimeter F-14. Ordered two of them, cut this much off of it here. Okay. Use one of the long, I think Freewing gives you one of these. I think that's who gives you these. Long Phillips head screwdrivers that some manufacturer. I think it's Freewing. They'll send you one of these. I stick it in this way, as far as it go. I stuck it in that way, as far as it go. And I think I've got them rods lined up pretty good. Got the holes lined up, excuse me. So we're gonna see if I can get this thing glued in here. What I'm gonna attempt to do here is just get glue right where I need it to be. Let me get this off here. Not being real globby with it, because you know I don't want much squirting out. I want it all to be nice and right down the plane. Not really putting a lot on that wooden platform neither. I kind of be able to try to get that out. I'm putting just a little bit on my carbon rod there. On all of them. I tell you, pilots, using these little mixing tips, that's the trick now. You just have you, hopefully you have you another tube of glue ready to go. Change the tip over. Now, let me get some on these sides here. Just a little bit on this side, not a whole lot. I put holes. I know pilots, they'll take a razor blade and kind of just eat up the side there a little bit, but I'll take my 90-degree awl and just put holes in it. Right. Note around, when you're around thin, There is though. Be careful how deep you put your holes. Uh-oh, I see some drippage. Get a little bit more on that rod right there. Okay, Pops, here we go. Like a glove. Like a glove. I don't see no squirtage out nowhere. No squeezies. No squeezies. Let me check the bottom. Check the bottom. Oh, I got a squeeze. Oh man, pilots. Oh, pilots. You just ain't gonna believe that. Thompson's Hamilton's hanger. Man, I miss Thompson's hanger too. I wish he'd throw a video up, let us know how he's doing. But Hamilton's hanger, he's got one of these. And he was telling me how I tell you what I'm going to have to do right here. Let me see if I can find something right quick. I'm going to have to put something there that'll spread that out. Let's see. Too much. Have to find something here pretty quick. Too short. He was telling me how the wiring is kind of a little complicated. But, I mean, pilots, you know, you put a whole bunch of these things together. I mean, you run into problems. I ain't saying you ain't. But we've got some good friends out there, pilots, including Hamilton's hanger. I mean, we can. Oh man. Well, I didn't have to put glue up there on that. So let me clean that off right quick before that hardens up. Let's see here. Didn't see that. Did not see that coming. Okay. All right, let me check the bottom again for squeezies. Perfect. Okay. All my leads is clear. I hope I hadn't forgot nothing. Sure hope I hadn't forgot nothing. Lord help me, Lord help me, Lord help me. Still no squeezies. Okay, pilots, it looks like I got it. Looks like I got it. Wing. Okay. Let's see. As you can see, it's kind of way off on the seam here. Well, you'll see in a second. It's got a padding on top of the wing sweeping mechanism. Okay, that's where them long screws go. I seen a couple of long screws in the pack. I knew the screws needed to be put in the battery tray, but I didn't know what them long screws were. Now I know. Them's tight. Fresh threads. Oh, okay. Let me get them other two screws. Until I have laying right there. And our little pack here, like so. See the two long ones and then the two short ones go in the battery bay. Alright, we got a little, like I said, a little foam piece of covering here. It's got a hold of the control rod for the wing sweep. One piece of tape, so it won't be bouncing around. And we've got to take this top platform off the mechanism completely off here. That's a big old push rod there now. Goodness gracious. That looks like something goes on a 1/4 scale. Look at that big old aluminum arm there on that wing sweep mechanism. Goodness gracious. Heck yeah. Built like a tank. Oh my goodness, I hope I got an Allen head that big. Dig up something here. My toolbox. Yeah, well, not exactly. Not exactly. got a couple of stickers here saying above this hole no wires, and we got a hole right here. So we're gonna have a wing coming in right here and sweeping and moving and everything. And the informer put his receiver up here. And I imagine that's a BEC right there, or something. That might be just a wing controller box. That might be what that is. But I'm gonna put mine up here because what I'm gonna do, pilots, is I might take this tray out here, and where it's in an angle for the battery to sit on, I'm gonna put my battery down on the floor, okay, make a strap on it, okay, put this platform back on it, but it might not sit down as far as it is right now. So these two platform mounts that go lower than the two front, I might have to put like washers in them or something to get it to level up. Put a long screw in it, get it to level up with washers in between it. Put my receiver and everything right here, okay? And then you say, okay, you're gonna have your battery in there. How you gonna get your battery? Well, you take the platform back up. But I've got to level it up to have my Hobby Eagle gyro on it. It's got to be level. Now, that's what I'm gonna try. I don't say, I hear you now. No, it ain't gonna work. Man, you're wasting time. Well, I'm gonna waste my time. I'm gonna try it and see. Try it and see. That's all I can do. Now, let me see if I got the right wing here. This one's gonna be flipped over. Yep. Let me get the other one. Let's get a rod out. We got to have that over here. We can go ahead. We've got some washers we've got to put on first. We've got a bag here that specifically has all the wing bolts in it. Got a bag here that I know I'm gonna need a razor blade to cut open. I don't know what more they make in plastic bags out of. It's on there. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God. Let's read on the instructions. Those might be extras, or they might want us to put all of them on there. I thought there was just one you put on. Most videos they put a big one on first and then the small one on the top. These instructions is for a kit version. Okay. It tells you how to do everything. So it kind of takes a little while to find what you're looking for. And it just skips that over. What's up with that? Don't tell you where to put them washers at. Goes from, here it is up here in a small little box. Okay, A and C. Let's see, C. It just has one. It's telling you to put one in there, and it's got extras, I reckon. Open, push rod, support rod, metal arm, sweep control, angle. Adjust the metal arm, sweep control, 20 degrees. Okay, that's measurements of the sweep. we're going with one. We're going with one. Big one on the bottom, smaller one on the top. Glove with a ball bearing. Okay, now running our leads. We've got to get our leads over here. We've got to stay behind the hole here. Our CM Former run his in between these rods here so that when the wing would sweep, this rod would support the wear and keep it from coming down too far down into this area. So that's what we're going to do. Bring this wing in. It seems like the wing is going to be fully swept forward when it's mounted to the servo arm. Let's hope that that's set, but if it ain't, you know, it's not too bad. Okay, we got a machine screw that should go in here. You got to be careful, pilots. You got to make sure this thing is lined up perfect. You don't want to cross thread. You don't want to force it. With your fingertips, you want to feel that screw just start right into them threads. I'm not really going to cinch it because I might have to take it off and do some adjusting. Now, possibly, I can put my other washer on. It's smaller in size. The hole is smaller, so you can't really get it wrong. Okay, we got our platform we're gonna put back down. We have Allen head screws here, black screws, machine cut. But we also have a bracket that we've got to install. That's very important, very important. Watch this. I've sat here and made this video and you wait and see if ain't a bit of this will be in shot. Oh, a little bit. Okay, let's get a little closer. This bracket right here, this aluminum, has an angle cut to it with an angle bent in it. That's gonna fit in that base right just like so. Okay. Now, when you put that in, you put a black machine cut screw in this platform here. And I was thinking, yep, there it is right there. And I'll tell you something else. I knew I was going to do it. Put these over here for a second. I didn't see them longer ones in there. I was looking, but I didn't see them. It was camouflaged. Camouflaged. I've got to put a longer one in that, in the control rod. I was thinking that, and I should have known that. Should have known that. And the longer one needs to go in this. This support bar. Let's see. Or does it? Or does it short? I think that. Let me look and see. I'll make sure, because I only have 2 long screws. I only have 2 long screws. A 8mm. Well, it's not a long screw. Let's see what the one in the control rod is supposed to be. H. H is a 12mm, so that's right. That long one goes in the control rod. The short one goes in the mount. Let's do this again. Let's party. Let's mingle. Again, not really cinching it down like a while ago. Now, I wonder if I'd sit there and maybe put some Loctite, because it did look like a metal insert in there. You just had to take it right back out again. Yeah, I mean, it's barely grabbing a hold of something, but it is grabbing a hold of something. And just put a little bit on that, and then this screw that goes up here in this part of the support rod is a coarse thread Phillips head screw that goes into a plastic base. Putting that down pretty good. We don't want to tighten this one right here right now. We want to get all these started here. Sometimes you got to maneuver and move and this and that. I mean, it just ain't gonna fall in there for you, fellas. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Sometimes you got to maneuver and move that rod down there, just like so. I'm taking my finger and pulling it from the back bottom here, pulling it out by trying to push the platform that way. Now, I've got to put some over there, so I need them over there. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, that ain't looking good. That ain't looking good at all. Something here. What is that supposed to be for? I wonder. Got 1 chrome screw, 3 black screws, 1 long black screw. So I would be missing a black screw. No, that's got a chrome screw in there on that side. Huh. Why do they give me chrome screws for? They've given me 2 chrome screws. I mean, you know, I got enough screws, but 2 of them's chrome, the rest of them's black. I mean, where does the chrome one go? I gotta know. Inquiry minds gotta know. Taking my platform off. Putting 1 washer, don't you, look here. I've got 4 extra, well, 3 extra washers. Which, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, you get 200 flats on something, that washer might be just down to nothing. You know, they want you to put a nothing on it, maybe. Hey. Okay, let's get that rod out of there. Look at something here. Yeah, that's tight. Just looked like that wasn't tight. Let's get our other wing. We got our other wing. Here's our wing. There's the wing. Now it's got them stars and bars on the bottom of it. Get my tie off. Hold on to them ties. I might need them here in a second. Of course, I got my other little small hard ties. We got a flaps lead, we got an LED lead, we got an ailerons lead. We got our washer on. Should be right in there somewhere. Now we're in that bearing. Now we're in the seated bearing. Okay. Now we got that for this side. Well, we gotta put the platform on it first. We gotta put this on. Now I wonder if they want you to put a washer in between that. Let me check that too, Bob. Let me check the book. No, the picture shows just the nut going on there. So no washer. Don't know why they gave me so many washers or pots. I don't have an idea. We're going with it. Alright, down here. Are we ready for our platform? Put that chrome screw back down here where it was. Let me see if that's longer. No, they're exactly the same length. Thought maybe that might have went into that. Let me do that. Since they're off colored, I'm gonna put that one in that hole. Let's do that, Pop. Let's see if I can get it in there. I'm probably making a big mistake taking this out. Trying to get another one started. Could be trouble. Could be trouble. I think I got it. That feels good. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give each one of these just a little bit. Just a little bit of love. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of love. It's in the hole. It's in the hole. It's in the hole. Former greenskeeper gone pro. Look at that, and they're lining right up now. Okay, now let's get our control rod hooked up here with the longer Allen head screw. We want to get it in that ball joint. Get our wing in just the right position to accept the screw. And let's get our bracket going here. Let's see. I did put that washer on there. One last coarse Phillips head screw. Wait a minute. Well, I can run that through. I can run that through. We've got to run this servo leads to the correct hole here. See, that's where we might put a tie right here and right here, just to hold those wires together, so they won't get entangled in some of those servo arms. Put a little bit on that one. Give it some love. Nut. I'll do it. It's too big to put on the plane. Just a little bit of love. Okay, pilots. Now I've got some wiring up to do here. Get this one tight. Well, snug anyway. Okay. We've got a control board here. We've got a place here for ailerons. Our polarity has our signal lead going to the back of the plane. We put one of the ailerons in that one. We get our other aileron. We put our lead into that one. Okay, we've got to find flaps. Flaps is on up the board here just a little bit on the same line. You just plug those ailerons in. We're checking our polarity, signal lead to the back of the jet. It's kind of tough when you're sticking them in between them like this. Okay, I think I got one plugged up there. This is flaps for the other. See, we got to make sure we got enough lead. Yep, we got enough lead. The Freewing thought about that for us. They gave us enough lead to stay behind the hole. Uh-oh. Look at this. Okay. That's going to be for the steering. That's another lead I got to pull up from the back, from the front here. It's not flaps. That's flaps. Channel 6 flaps, man. You better get in touch with Pilot Ryan. He's got a nice controller, 6-channel controller ready for you. Flaps is plugged in. Okay, we got an LED lead here. We got 2 LED plugs available. One says gear LED lights on one end, the other says LED lights. So we're going with that one. And we're checking our polarity, and with the rest of the leads, the red lead is towards the front of the plane. So we're going into that one. You just always pray, pilots, that those plugs go in right, you know what I mean? You're sitting there and you're pushing on it, and you don't know if it's going into that plug right, if it's sliding up alongside the plastic. Okay, pilots, my LED leads is hooked up. Now I've got to look up here. Now here's another little bag in here. Not screws, but little small details that I love. You know what I mean, Vern? You know what I mean, Vern? Little antennas, pitot tubes, stuff like that. All kind of things. That's it for that bag. I bet my cockpit's glued pretty good now. I bet that ain't going nowhere, Pops. It'll break somewhere else besides that seam. Okay, now I've got to go up here and get my steering. I want to run these leads tell you what, I'm gonna take that board and go ahead and take that board out. What we have here is another LED. That's our landing light. Let's go ahead and put that in landing light LED with the polarity red lead to the front of the jet. Not wanting to slide on there because there's so many of them on there, pilot. And take that aisle. Make sure I am going on it. Yep. And take that aisle and push that next plug in front beside it there as far forward as I could, just to get that other plug to have enough room to go down in it. I mean, that's just little things you get to look out for. Okay, now our next lead is landing gear. Now we've got our landing gear, and then we've got our landing gear door. So we're going with gear with polarity yellow signal lead going to the rear of the jet. And from video and watching people fly their jets and building their F-14s pop, I've heard of no troubles with these boards here on this jet. I've not yet heard of anybody saying anything was wrong with these control boards here. Landing gear doors with their polarity yellow lead to the rear. We're plugging our doors in. And we should have landing gear doors synchronized. Now that one goes right there, so that's what I'm going to do. Nope, not going to be able to do it like that a bit. Nope. I'll have to figure out something there. We'll have to watch Rich's video and see what he done. Now we got a rudder here. We got a rudder, so I'm looking on my board here. I see the word rudder, but I don't see no plugs going into it there on that one. Alright, let's see if we got one open here. Steering, there's a steering. I'm not going to have a rudder at the front of the jet, pilots, so that's got to be my steering. With polarity to the rear. The signal lead to the rear. My goodness, it's like I'm parting coarse hair. Come on, ice cream. plug. That's right. Oh yeah. And we have steering. Okay, pilots, we still got a bunch of wires sitting here now. I know. But you want to try to get everything kind of neatly right in this little area right here. Up to the front. Like I said, I'm going to put all my stuff's going to be on top of that board. My battery's going to be sitting on the bottom. We're going to try that and see. Might not work. Might not be able to even get a CG that way. We'll see. Okay. Tools are clear. Leads are clear. Light is clear. Down. In the trench. Kind of wanting it to go down and my screw heads come up. See, that way I'm hitting something down there anyway. See? A lot of pilots was saying that they had a big gap right here in between the wings. Well, that's okay with me. That's okay with me. Alright, let's get these tools up. I'm going to leave it alone. I want to get these screws started into something here. That's what I want to do. Got that one into something. That can get some meat. That hits some meat. That's hit some meat. I'm pushing down on it. Pushing down on the backing. I ain't hitting nothing there. That's hitting. See, these are fresh here. They ain't had no screw in this. Oh, yep, that's biting. You gotta get that thing started. Pushing down on that back in there. Pushing down on it. I'm sitting here watching it, making sure that it's not, I don't hear no cracking. But it's pulling that backing down. It's pulling this panel down. As long as it's pulling it down, it's not pinching nothing in there. But if it ain't pulling nothing down, but you still tightening the far out of it, and it ain't pulling it down, and there's something in there holding it. See, that's how far much more further I've got to go here. Let's go ahead and tighten these two outsides. Two in the rear. Let's see if it pulls that down to it. You'll feel it when it tightens up. You'll know when you're going into a new one too. There it goes. See, it's starting to pull that piece down there now. Let's let it off a little bit there. that one's about there if it's flush up against this right here. Yep. That's feeling pretty good there. Okay. I got nothing pinching. Looking pretty good there. Okay, folks. We're gonna go with that. Let me set my canopy up on it. We got another piece we got to glue in, but I've got to put a piece of foam or something in between here to spread this out as it's drying, has pressure on it to be spreading it out, because, well, I might not have to, but the RC Informer, he had to do that so that it would line up with this panel here on the back side better. I'm not pinching, no pinching, no pinching. Well, heck, mine's doing pretty good there. Yeah, I'm not doing nothing with that. I'm gonna glue it in. Let's get our glue ready. That ain't got nothing in it. Nothing's in it. So we're going with a whole new tube. New tube. Had a brother pilot of mine tell me I sounded like Tom Petty when I talked. Want me to sing for him? I don't think he wants me to sing. Hey, Nelly. I might be from the South, but I ain't got no voice at all. Okay, now, as usual, I'm gonna take my 90 degree out. I'm just poking holes in here. Now, I'm not gonna be gluing to this, pilots. Don't be gluing to that. That's got to still remain removable. Don't do it. That wouldn't be prudent. I've seen pilots, they'll cut that whole box out right there, but like I said, even if I get that battery platform, you know how it'll go all the way back into the back there. Well, since I've got to cut that block out anyway right there, you can take your hobby knife and go in a 45-degree angle, okay? And go back there as far as you need to and cut a triangle block out. Slide the platform down into it and then down right into it, and then glue that piece right back into it. That's my thought. Think about it. Let me know something. Talk to me. Alright, pops. I'm gonna put I just want some right here in the center. And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do before I lay this down on there. more glue to get on that back platform, or back panel. So I'm just putting me a piece of masking tape right there. Make sure my trigger is pointing this way. Set it in. Yes, I'll have to take my platform back off to get that tape out, but at least it won't be glued to it. Okay, now I can't put my canopy, snap it in. I'll lay it up here and let you see what it's gonna look like. I've got light leads coming all out of it. It looks like a computer database. Just look at all these leads I get coming out of the thing. I got to find a hole for all of them too. That's a Dynam LED set there with the Dynam LED driver controlling it. Let's leave a little bit of pressure on it. Bigger nose on it. Ta-da! Ain't she a beaut? Okay, pilots, it's been over an hour I've spent with you today. Up next will be the setup and dropping gear. I'm out.